Hi, and welcome back to another episode where myself, Richu Bra, the Girl Boss Method, and Daniela Del Carpio, DDC Fitness, join together and we discuss amazing topics or conversation and tips regarding fitness, your health, your nutrition, and your lifestyle. So, Daniela, can I get you to introduce tonight's topic?
Yeah, so today, because it's morning for me, today we're gonna be talking about why you shouldn't stop with your fitness journey during this time of the year. Because one of the main excuses we hear right now with our clients or just people on social media, Instagram, when we talk to you guys, is that you don't want to start with your fitness journey just yet, or maybe you want to put your journey on hold because this is the busiest time of the year. So we know we have Christmas coming up, we have New Year's, we have events, family gatherings, social gatherings, and just so many things going on in the next few weeks. And people think that because it's gonna be the busiest time of the year, I need to put this on hold. Or I need to stop until everything is finished, and then I'll start with my fitness journey next year. And next year is literally like 6 weeks from now, which it might not sound like too much, but 6 weeks is plenty of time for you to make progress and start with something and start making some small changes, small adjustments. And that's exactly what we're going to talk about. We're going to touch a little bit about why you shouldn't stop with your journey and how, or some tips to help you be more consistent and just make it easier for you guys to make this part of your lifestyle. Because remember, this is not a quick fix. We don't do quick fixes here. This is all about making this something sustainable and long lasting.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. So we're going to go through a couple of tips. And the first thing that I wanted to talk or to say basically during these 6 weeks is to actually understand that, like you said, the holiday season might not be the time to make significant advances, but you are going to stop yourself going backwards. So we need to think about setting very realistic and achievable goals because you don't want to overwhelm yourself. And you also don't want to get to a point where if you've been making amazing progress already this year, that you start to take a back seat, you relax, and you let old habits kick in. So we really need to think about being quite realistic with these goals. Would you agree?
Yeah, I think being realistic is the main thing. But before I mention my next point, I just want to touch on something really quick. And it's about like why you need to change this mindset of putting this on hold or, delaying this until the new year.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like having that mindset, it only puts you in a place that you're like, okay, it's the busiest time. I won't have time to go to the gym, or I won't have time to prep my meals, or I don't want to spend or waste the money into coaching or, into the gym membership or something like that. But if you have that mindset, then whenever something happens to you, next year, whenever you have like a really busy time, someone's birthday, family reunion, you go away, you're simply going to have that mindset again. And you're going to feel like, okay, next few weeks are going to be so busy. I'm going to put everything on hold again
Mm.
because everything's going to be busy. And it's going to be that same cycle of you starting with something, doing it for a few weeks or even a few months, and then stopping, starting and stopping. And you will never be able to move forward because you keep doing something and then you keep taking so many steps back. You keep moving forward or trying to move forward, and then you keep going back. Just remember that if we want to work, or if you're working in your body, in your mindset, it has to be something that you have to work on every single day. That's why I keep saying this is not a challenge just for 6 weeks or 8 weeks. This has to be a change, and you have to be able and willing to make this change a forever thing, a daily thing. It's a daily work, it's a daily change, it's a daily commitment. Commitment
Mm.
is a big thing here. So the first thing I would say is change that mindset. Stop making so many excuses. Like excuses are not going to take you anywhere. And if you feel like you're wasting your time or your money with this, again, change that mindset. You're not investing, or you're not wasting time on, or sorry, money on nails or makeup or clothes, which is cute, but that's not going to help you to feel better. That's not going to help
Mm.
you to have the body that you want. That's not going to help you to have more confidence or feel more confident. What's going to help you is change your body, change your mindset, change how you feel about yourself. So yeah, I would say my first tip will be change that mindset. If you don't change it, you're simply going to keep thinking the same way. You're going
Yeah.
to keep getting the same results. You're going to keep feeling stuck, and you're gonna keep making the same mistake over and over and over again. And a question I want you to ask yourself right now is, how many times or for how long have you been feeling stuck? You start something and then you like move forward a little bit, make some progress, like a little bit of progress, and then the busy time of the year comes again, and then you stop with the progress. And then when you start again, you feel like you're starting all over again. Because during this time, people go crazy. Will you agree? Like, I feel like during this time, like people feel like I need to take a break and I'm gonna go crazy and like eat everything and like drink and enjoy. Next year, I'll get back on track. Why do people say, like, why do they have that mindset?
Yeah, it's very interesting actually, that. And I think everything you've said is so valid, and you've just summed up so much knowledge within such a short space, right? But it's just so simple. Like, we need to break the cycle. If you're going to keep repeating the same actions up and down yo-yo, you're not really going to be pushing and making that progress that you want to. And that's the thing, is progress doesn't happen overnight. It takes time, but you don't want to take steps back. And why people do it, I think there's a fear of missing out. I think there's a fear of fitness and nutrition having to be this very restrictive and very hard thing to do. But what people don't realize is it is literally a change of lifestyle and a change of mindset. So Daniela, you and I have both discussed this before. Like, especially when we think about like alcohol, for example, that is a part of people's lifestyles. And I think especially this time of year, they're more drawn into thinking that that's what all the festivities need to be about. There's this whole thing, FOMO is a big thing these days, that fear of missing out, of going to the parties, going to the events. And if you're not drinking and you're not enjoying and you're not going wild like everybody else, that you're going to miss out on a lot of fun. And that's incorrect. Because I guarantee you, Daniela and I have never actually met face to face, but I reckon both of us, we would have an amazing time. Like, I mean, hey, if I come to New Zealand, or if you come here to London and we just decided to go out on, I don't know, an evening out and just enjoy ourselves, we wouldn't need and feel like we need to have alcohol to have that good time. And that's just because it's been a change in the way that we have chosen to live our lives. And it's not to say that, I know for me, alcohol is not completely excluded. I just pick my times when I want to have it. And if I'm honest, it's ever so rarely. And when I do, it's also considered in the grand scheme of things. Like, every actionable thing that we do on a day-to-day basis, every single habit that we do, all the actions we take, they build habits, right? And these habits, they're like building blocks, and they make up who you are, and they just become automatic. You're not even having to think about it. So, if you are engaging in activity, you're walking, you're exercising, however that looks for you, if that's swimming for you, or if it's Pilates and reformer classes, or if it's something like yoga, if it's CrossFit, whatever type of exercise style that is for you, it's part of your daily routine. And hey, like, if you've got kids or a dog and it's just you get out and do lots of hiking and walking, that's also activity. But it's these small things that we feed into our lifestyles that actually build who we are, and they help shape us. And just because it's November, or the end of November, and you're thinking about putting the Christmas tree up next weekend, and you think, you've got all these parties and stuff, it doesn't mean that you have to take a backseat on these goals and these fitness goals, right? You can still go out and have a good time without being restrictive. The difference is your mindset is going to be thinking about being quite sustainable and not having that all or nothing. It's like restriction, and then the floodgates open and you go wild. That is not what we are preaching, and it's definitely not what we practice ourselves, and it's not what we teach our clients, right?
Yeah. Something completely out of topic. Just because you mentioned Christmas tree, do you like putting the Christmas tree and decorations at home, like in your house? Because for me, I don't like it. I don't know why, but I don't like to have too many things at home. I don't like to have the Christmas tree, even though I like to see in other people's house and like, places when I go. But I feel like my house, I'm so like simple. I don't like to have too many things. So anything that it's with like Christmas, like trees, candles, things like that. I don't know why, but I just don't like it. I feel like that's weird,
Wow.
but
Have you always
I
been
don't.
like that and at home as well? Like,
Yeah, obviously when I was living like with my grandma and my parents, they were always like decorating the house because it's
yeah,
their home. But now that I'm not, it's just I just don't like
you
it.
like clean
I don't
spaces,
like it.
don't
I like
you?
clean space. It has to be like nice and clean, nothing too much, just a few things here and there. But I just like something simple, just
Yeah.
clean walls, no trees, no decorations, no nothing, like nothing, nothing, nothing.
That's interesting because I've always been a fan of decorating, but I don't like to overdo it. So,
Mm,
similarly to you, I do like clean spaces. I don't think I've got any color on any walls in my house.
mm-hmm.
But last year, what do we have in the lounge? We just had a simple Christmas tree. I didn't decorate the kitchen or anything like that. I think I put some really nice, like some lights on the stairs, like the handrail.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do like that sort of like it's Christmas, but it's not
Christmas
overly
vibe.
tacky because
Yeah.
my word, growing up, tack was just a big thing. Was that what your family were like
I
as
think,
well?
yeah, I think that's why, like, I was traumatized. I don't know, like, obviously, my grandma, she loves Christmas.
Yeah.
I love my grandma, but I think they would just put, like, maybe it's part of, like, my culture, like, South American people. They just overdo it with Christmas. They
Mm,
just, when you go to someone's house, it's just, like, too many things, like the table, the chairs, the
the
wine, if it
llama.
has Christmas decoration. Yeah, yeah, like Christmas yam. Like, everything was too much. So I think maybe that's why I'm like, no. When you grow up and you live by yourself, like, you're not gonna have anything
Yeah.
at all.
Oh,
Yeah,
I love that. That's really
that's a
nice. I
fun
like
fact for you
that.
guys.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
I'm somewhere there with you
Mm.
definitely. I do like to have it, but again, I think I'm that kind of person when it comes to Christmas. You know what I'd love is like, and we're going so off topic here, guys, but the
We are, yeah.
the Christmas trees that you see on people's Instagram pages where it like, people that have like professional decorating pages and it's
Yeah.
just like a blanket and a theme. Like
Mhm.
one day I would just love something like that. Very classic looking, very classy, but not like
Yeah.
wild bits of tassel in every given opportunity.
Yeah. I love my grandma.
Yeah. Oh, bless.
But going back to the topic, what were we talking about? You asked me something. I forgot. I think you asked me something about. Okay, well, I forgot. So
Let's move
let me
on.
just let's move on. Yeah, let me just tell you something else that would I think it will help you guys to change and be into that mindset of, I want to put this on hold. I'll get back whenever I get back on track. Something else to consider is that you're gonna go into that mindset, you're gonna overdo it during Christmas, you're gonna be drinking too much alcohol, you're gonna
Mm,
be eating too much, you are not gonna be mindful of what you're eating or how much you're eating. And I know for sure that next year you're gonna regret it. You're probably
mhm,
gonna put on too much weight, and then you're gonna be like, I wish I didn't do this, or I wish I didn't eat too much. I wish I didn't drink too much. Don't make that same mistake again. Like if that already happened at the beginning of this year, so last Christmas, why do that to yourself again? Just being mindful with what you're eating. Whenever you go to an event, you don't have to eat everything just because it's on the table. You don't have to drink all those bottles of alcohol just because they're given to you. You
mhm,
have to learn to say no. And that's something we also discussed in another podcast. Like you have to be able and you have to learn to say no because you don't have to say yes to everything. Just because someone is offering you, let's say, a plate with something, some people feel guilty of saying no because they're gonna be like, this, that's so disrespectful. Like I have to say yes, I have to finish the whole plate, I have to do this. You don't have
mm,
to. You only do it because you feel like you have to. But no
mm,
one is putting that gun in your head and telling you if you don't eat this, I'm gonna shoot you. If you don't finish this alcohol, something's gonna happen to you. It's not disrespectful as long as you communicate and let them know, I'm trying to start a new journey, or like I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I'm full, like I don't want to eat too much. Just be clear with what you want to say, like communicate, say no, like you don't feel
mm.
forced to eat everything that you see. That's
Um,
something that we see all the time.
well, exactly. And there are strategies that we both teach our clients during this period. So I know that as part of like my program as well, we will be going through education over the next few weeks in terms of the mindset, the nutrition, the exercise as well. We'll be looking at setting targets as well to kind of complete during this time. Helping with schedules, giving options, making like, for example, staying active part of like, almost like creating tradition out of it as well, and moving. Do you guys as a family, like when you spend Christmas with, I don't know, your partner or your family, do you make it part of your tradition that you get up and go for a walk? Because
No,
me and my
never.
dad, well, no, this
We
is,
don't.
no, you don't. But we would
No.
always go for a walk after dinner, and we'd head down to like a pub nearby. And if it, I think some of them would be open or whatever. But what me and my dad actually used to do was meet up in the morning and walk. We would literally go
Right.
for like an hour and a half walk on Christmas Day. And I wouldn't care if I had like, I don't know, 4 hours sleep or 7 hours sleep, however many hours I'd had. It would be like, right, we're committed to doing this. Like for me, I love nothing more than getting up early on Christmas Day and just going out for a walk. And like, it's been going for a few years now. And like, it started when I lived with my family, and me and my dad would just be like, yeah, let's get out and walk. So yeah, I think that's really important as well, is having that encouragement and encouraging those people around you. And it's not just reserved for Christmas Day, it's like just in general. But back to the point is that there are strategies and there are ways of preventing excess weight gain, especially if your journey has been weight loss most of the year. And then you think, do you know what's the point? I'm going to put loads on. I'll wait for January. I'll get doing all of that. Right now, just by thinking moderately, incorporating strategies, thinking about movement, thinking about your nutrition as well and your lifestyle, you are going to smoothly sail through this period. And guys, I'm going to sell it again, but this is where having that accountability and that support and that community and that network is going to help you, because the rest of us, we're going through the same thing. I do not go wild. Like that's not something I do. I know years before, it's definitely something I experienced. But yeah, just now there's things that I've adopted through each year. Where look, a little bit of weight gain's okay, but the idea is that we're looking at strategies to stop excessive things happening, because unfortunately, and actually, Danielle, I don't know if you're aware of this, but the data does suggest that most cumulative weight gain happens between like November and December. This is the time when people put on weight, and I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but I'm just saying if that's what you've been trying to prevent, and you found yourself every year, every January, going through some crazy detoxes and crazy hard diets and extra cardio and just going absolutely, crazy in the gym and everything, like you're just making it horrible for yourself and you're making it a chore, right?
Yeah. And then something else I want to mention, I don't know if I should mention this or not, but I have a few clients wanting to put the membership, the coaching on hold just during Christmas, and then they want to like next year. But something I want you to think about is, if you're trying to save money, if that's the reason why you want to put it on hold, or maybe you're afraid that you won't be able to stick to the plan, are you gonna put your Netflix account on hold? Are you also gonna put your Apple account on hold? Are you also gonna put, any subscription that you have on hold that is not serving you? Because if you're truly trying to save money, you will be looking at those options first. You will be looking at the things that this is not helping me to reach my goals, whether it's with fitness, with your business, whatever. But you need to look around and just see what things you're spending money on and what things are actually helping you or not. Because if you're wasting money on Netflix, because I feel like Netflix is waste of money if you're someone who doesn't have money, then consider canceling that subscription first. And I'm not saying this because I'm a coach, but I'm just trying to tell you from a point of view of, you need to see what it's more important to you, and you need to see what things are going to help you, benefit you, what things are not serving you. Because having that Netflix account, or having that Apple Music account, or having that subscription with, I don't know, games or whatever you have, that's just a waste of money. And it
True.
just bothers me much, like why people wanna, or they're willing to spend money on those things, and they're not willing to spend money on their health. They're willing to spend money on then getting their nails done, getting their hair done, which is perfect. I also get my hair done, my nails done.
Yeah.
But it's like, put your money on the things that are going to help you with your body, with your future. Like, we're talking about your life. We're talking about your health. Remember, fitness is not just about that pretty body and having that six pack and having those biceps and triceps. It's more about how you feel, like how healthy you are. Are you working on your health? Like, think about your long term. So that's just something for you to think about. Like, if you truly want to save money, you will just look at other things. I feel like coaching should always be the last thing you think about, whether you have a business coach, a mindset coach, I don't know, something else coach. I feel like that should be at the bottom, but at the top, it should be all the things that are like literally not serving you and you're just wasting money on. Because I'm sure there's so many subscriptions that you have that you're just wasting money.
Do you know what? A subscription audit on your life. Like, seriously, Daniela, I would love to know how many people out there, if you go through your subscription list or your bank account and you just have a look and think, how many times have I actually truly used this thing this month? Okay, they might end up, to be fair, with Netflix, people often binge watch over Christmas, but you will find that on regular telly, a lot of these programs will get played anyway. Aside from that, especially if you're trying to find time to socialize with people, with family, you've got work events, you've still got work, you've got everything still going on, you've still got the kids to sort out. And now you've got the kids at home for holidays. How much time are you actually going to be spending listening to these or using these subscriptions that you've acquired over the years? Because I guarantee that people don't even know that they have them in their accounts, because not all subscriptions are monthly either. And it's interesting because there are lots of yearly subscriptions. I was actually speaking to a sister of mine the other day, and it sounds crazy, but she had like a WordPress account, and she was like, why has this £17 just come out of my account? Like, I don't even use it, and so I think there are sometimes, especially Black Friday, when we think about deals and offers, there will be a great deal of offers out there where subscription services will grab you and they'll send out messages to make you gravitate towards that product. You'll buy into it, you'll pay for that because it's like a year was 25% off if you paid up in front. But what you will not realize is this time next year, you'll get charged for it again. So it's just like, be mindful on all those small things that you are spending, because they will accumulate. Also, like this time of year, there's lots of like, big brand coffees, they've always got their like special gingerbread lattes with whipped cream and this and that. I like refuse to spend my money on that stuff, but I know that once upon a time I used to, and I would literally have like one of those subscriptions or like online accounts where you just pay for it and it just comes out each month. And one of them, I think I remember going into like Starbucks, for example, and like a coffee costed me like £7.55. What is that in New Zealand dollars? Tell me. Do you know?
I think that will be around like 14, 15 New Zealand dollars. So like double.
And you imagine people do that every day just because they go, oh, it's Christmas. I'll just go in, hey, even if you did that 3 times a week, like that's soon going to add up. And I mean, that could well be, these small little things could well be a lot more than you are spending on coaching and looking after yourself. And as we say, investments, right, for the long term.
Exactly. Let's do the maths really, really quick. Let's say your coffee is £7, okay? And you're getting coffee, you're working Monday to Friday, so you're getting that coffee 5 days, 5 times a week. So that's 5 times 7.
Are you doing the math on this?
I'm doing the math so you guys can hear exactly what I'm talking about. And
why don't you do the math on each thing? and then I'll add the total together. So tell me what the coffees were, please.
I've got it all here now.
All right.
Okay, the coffee is £7. So we go £7 5 days a week. That'll be £35 a week. If we do that for a month, that'll be £140 a month.
Wow.
£40 a month just on coffee. A coffee that you can literally make at home and save you money. You can make it for free. All you need is water, coffee, milk, whatever milk you use, is Splenda if you want some, like a sweetener. If you want cream, and maybe put a little bit of cream, but you don't have to spend that money. I feel like there's something about, I don't know if it's to take the picture and post it on Instagram, but they're so good with the marketing. Like, they are amazing at marketing the product. And that's why people buy it so much. That's why people feel like, I need that coffee. I need that coffee. And they go and they're willing to spend those £7 or $7 or $10 New Zealand dollars on those coffees. But if you put it all together, for 1 month, you're spending so much money. You're wasting so much money. And obviously, we're wasting. Yeah, we are no one. I'm no one to tell you you should be doing this with your money. You shouldn't be doing this. Obviously, it's your money. Do whatever the hell you want with your money. But my point that I'm trying to get across is that if you're complaining about your body, if you're complaining about the way that you look, if you're not happy with your life, if you're not happy with how you feel with your confidence levels, do something about it. And start looking at what things you're spending money on. Look at your bank account. Be honest with yourself. You don't need to tell me. Like, just talk to yourself. Like, sit down, open your bank account, and see all those transactions. Okay, last week I spent $35 on coffee. I spent $60 getting my nails done. I spent $100 buying a pair of jeans. I spent $20 just buying, I don't know, something random. I spent $100 buying this moisturizer. Is this really going to help you with that fat loss journey? Is that really going to help you with the goals or with the life that you want to have? Just think about it that way. That's something for you guys to think about. Sit down, do the maths, do your calculations, and see whether or not those things are truly helping you and serving you.
Yeah.
That's your homework.
That's the homework. Daniela is definitely she's no bullshit, guys. She just tells it how it is.
Yeah.
So
but you can tell it bothers me so much. It just drives me crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. And then, like, with that, when we are thinking about, also, people don't realize what comes with having that support and that community and that sort of, the guidance as well. It's education as well for the long term. So it's not to say that you've got to do this thing forever, but take what you learn and implement it. Like, implementation is, rather than going in and like thinking that something is just really short term and a quick fix. It's about using the stuff that you've learned and taking it with you lifelong. Yeah, I guess when we're thinking about exercise, like nutrition, lifestyle, that sort of thing, this is actually a really stressful time of year. A lot of people worry about money at this time of year because they worry about trying to impress others and serve others and show others. So whether that's you're like hosting Christmas, or you're worrying about making sure that your present that you buy your auntie or your cousin or your brother-in-law, whoever it is, you're trying to make sure that you get the same back, and you don't want to be outshone. So I think people do worry about present giving as well. And look, when we're thinking about Black Friday as well, I think we've talked about this already. Black Friday, the amount of money that people waste on Black Friday, and it's grab, and you think, right, I've got all the deals. But I wonder how many of you stop, think, breathe, and check your account before you go and buy that thing, because it says a great big screaming, flashing red 40% off, and you just go blindly, no thought with it, and you just go for it, and you don't even know what it's going to do for you and if it's going to like help. Admittedly, I bought a pair of black walking trousers, and they were 40% off. And I thought, all right, I need to get these. I'm going to return them because they don't even fit me. They don't even fit me. But I just went and I bought them because I was like, oh my God, I need to get them because I know this time, and look, that is a need for me because I know this time of year it gets cold, and I wanted to go and invest in like some weatherproofs as well. But I think I just went with this brand because it is a label, but it was 40% off, and it was just a total waste of money. So that's just totally getting returned because I just think I could be doing so much more with that. Yeah, I digress.
Yeah, and something that I like that you mentioned before is that, we want to impress other people. We want to spend money on buying gifts. You want to, you want to get that in return. But something that I posted last week, yeah, it was last week, and that I want to remind you is that before you're going to spend all that money, again, only if you're complaining about your body, the way you look, if you're happy, don't listen to me. But if you're going to spend that money buying those shoes for your husband that are going to cost you $300 or £300, or that toy for your kid that's going to cost you £500, you need to think about yourself first. Like, what are you going to give to yourself? I know caring and loving people, it's obviously amazing. We're humans. We do that as human nature, especially as women. But you need to think about yourself first. Like, how much money are you willing to invest in yourself? How much money are you going to give to yourself? What are you going to give to yourself this Christmas? Because giving those shoes to your partner, giving that toy or laptop to your kid, yes, it's pretty at that moment. But if you're not there with them, like if you're not able to give them yourself, I mean, like your energy, if you're not able to be happy in a positive vibe, in a positive mindset, then they're not really getting too much from you. They're just getting something materialistic, but they're not getting too much from their mom or from their partner or from that friend or from that sister. So if you want to give them something that is going to be very valuable and something that they're going to remember forever, it's literally just being the best version of yourself. And the only way you can do that is by truly investing in yourself, investing in your health, in making sure you put yourself as your priority. This doesn't mean you have to say no to everyone and cut everyone out and say no to everything, but it's just having your priorities and setting those boundaries and knowing exactly how much or what you're willing to do for yourself and what you're not willing to, and what you're willing to do for other people. I think that's something also another takeaway for you guys, something to think about. It's like, do I really want to spend all that money or invest that in myself and be able to feel better, feel happy? Because it's nice when you're happy. It's nice when you have that energy. You don't want to be like with someone that is always grumpy, that is always like, has a negative mindset, always talking about people, like always complaining about everything. When I'm around those people, I really don't want to be around those people. I'm just like, no, goodbye. It's just not a nice place to be in.
No, it's not. And it's interesting you say, because kids' toys, and like in my age group, most people have teenagers now. It's expensive. And every year, what are you going to do if you're buying the latest PlayStation this year? What are you going to do next year? So I think also, as a society, we need to get away from consumerism as well. And I really think there's a lot of value in, if you want to give gifts, but giving gifts that have meaning and create connection, gifts that create memory as well, gifts that are something that can help someone. So, I mean, that could be as simple as literally, look, spend your money how you want, but if that's helping someone invest in their own fitness or invest in like driving lessons, for example, like there's just so many other ways, or even experiences, like go out and do something together and be active as a family. That could be an amazing gift to give, to go out and do like an activity together, whatever that looks like for you, whether that's like, I don't know, like a trip ice skating together, or like, if money isn't so good, like hiking, like I don't know, there's just so many different ways to have fun and to show your appreciation for other people as well. And it doesn't have to be like massive big Black Friday 40% off the latest kitchen gadget, or whatever it is for you. But I think this time is so vital if we kind of come back to the topic and like
come back.
Yeah, exactly. I think like we've almost become like, there's this girl I follow online, Budget Diary something, and this is the kind of thing that she does as well. But I just think, it is, she talks about investments as opposed to spends, And I think that's really where we need to start separating things. Like, look, it's okay to spend, and you have every right to spend your money where you want, how you want, but it's understanding what is an investment and what is a spend. And I think differentiating those two is really important. But yeah, back to what you were saying, this period right now, if you do have a coach, you don't really want to think of it as being a time to have like a break from your coach or ditching your coach because you feel like you need a break and you're worried about, going off the rails. Because that could also, if money is not an issue, it could also be a little bit of internal guilt that you're going to let somebody else down because you can't go like, 120% all at once and go all out. That's not what we're concerned about right now. Even just having that accountability, practicing that sort of maintenance as well, practicing healthy habits, healthy progression, looking at other ways of creating progress during this period as well. If it's 6 weeks until January, is it that we take the foot off the weight loss gains? And actually, if you are going to be eating in a surplus, let's try and benefit your journey in a different way. Let's try and make you stronger during this time. If we know that we've got those extra calories, let's go for a different, non-aesthetic goal, right? Let's get you running. Let's get you lifting heavier. Let's get you trying out a new activity. All these sorts of things are fitness is such a great toolbox in terms of helping you, reduce that stress, feel better about yourself. And when you come into January and you want to go through a weight loss phase or whatever it is you want to do, you'll be mentally ready for that because you won't feel as though you've gone either one direction where you've gone so self-sabotage, where you've over consumed and let everything go. And you've also not gone, oh my God, I need to like restrict like crazy. Let's look at different tactics, right?
Yeah. And I think like another reason why people, like you said, like people want to put this on hold because they feel like they cannot give the 120% or, the 100%. And I feel like they think like, why should I be paying for something that I'm not going to be using 100%? But I think that mindset already tells you that that you won't give your 100%. You know that you're going to be not making the good, the right choices for the next few weeks. You know that you're going to be taking that break. You're going to put everything on hold. And again, it puts you into that mindset of pretty much going back to square one, going back to old habits. And if you're thinking that right now, it just means that you haven't changed that mindset just yet. It just means that you're not really changing that lifestyle just yet. It just means that you're stuck in that mindset of, I'm paying for this, I need to give mine 100%. If something gets busy, if life gets too busy, I need to put it on hold and then come back once things get better. Remember, if you want to make this long lasting, we need to change that ASAP. We need to be realistic with the approach that we are having. And we need to remember that Christmas is going to be happening every single year. Celebrations are going to be happening every single year, and not just during Christmas, but anytime during the year, like your mom's birthday, your brother's birthday, your partner's birthday, your anniversary with your partner, something at work, an event, I don't know, something. There's always so many things. So it's just learning how to eat and how to deal with those situations and how to be able to stay active without a gym, without being able to have dumbbells at home or, not having equipment. It's just changing things around and adjust to your situation, to your circumstances, but ensure that we keep making progress, even though it's going to be a little bit slower, maybe, but we're still moving forward and we don't put that thing on hold and we don't take any steps backward. But I think like one last thing I would say, because we're running out of time, I feel like we're just like keep talking and talking and talking. Something else just to remember for you guys is that consistency matters. If you're not consistent, if you don't do the daily work, even if it's something tiny, tiny, tiny on a daily basis, 1% or 0.5%, it's much better than 0%. So even a small change or a small something on a daily basis, it's going to help you to make sure that you keep building those habits. It's going to help you to ensure that you are building that lifestyle and that you're slowly but surely making that progress. Because putting something on hold, stopping something, going back to square one, it just means you're not being consistent. So I would say consistency is always the key. Always, always, always. 365 days of a year, every single day, every single week. Consistency is the main thing that's going to help you with your journey, with your long-term journey. Only if you want to make this long-term. If you are not thinking about this or changing your lifestyle, then maybe you shouldn't worry about anything that we just said for the past 40 minutes. So I don't know how long we've been talking. But yeah, is there anything else you will add to that?
Yeah, I think, look, this time of year is to be enjoyed. You know, we're not saying don't enjoy yourself. But there are strategies to get through this. It's always, you know, it's good to be part of a program. It's good to be around people that are into the same thing as you. They love fitness. They love improving. They want to be 1% better each day. So, you know, whether that's like mentally as well, there are so many things that we need to be looking at doing now as women, as ladies, you know, in our younger years, that we will be banking on for future years to come. If you're worried about stuff now, this is like the easiest time of your life. That sounds terrible, me saying that, but when you get older, making changes is definitely that much harder, you know, definitely. Especially, I think, if we forget about physiology and we forget about any of that, we just think about mentally. If we can't get through these challenges now, life is like a game. It's like taking you to the next level. It's like being better each day. You want to be, you know, in your best health, in your best fitness now, so that when you get older, you are less susceptible to getting, you know, problems, or, you know, physical problems, or like health issues, that sort of thing. We want to try and make each day count now and build those really healthy, long-term, sustainable habits.
Mm-hmm.
Any last words from you?
Yeah, just like you say, enjoy.
Yeah.
Enjoy this time, enjoy Christmas, enjoy that time with your family, with your loved one. Have fun.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be too restrictive, but also don't go too crazy. Everything in moderation is key.
Yeah.
Set those boundaries, learn how to say no,
Yeah.
and enjoy your time. I think that's the main takeaway from this. Well, there's so many things that you guys can take from this podcast today, but the main thing is just to be able to enjoy and keep living your life. Don't put anything on hold. Don't do this to yourself. Just don't do it. That's all I'm gonna say. Be kind to yourself. Be kind.
Love that. Love that. Thank you so much for listening. So if you have just stumbled across today's podcast or episode, whether you are listening to this on like Spotify or YouTube, watching us lovely ladies on YouTube, you can find us and reach out to us via Instagram. You can send Daniela a message, or myself. I'll give you my handle first. Is at Richu BRABR. That's RICHUBRAR. I am the Girl Boss Method. Daniela, would you like to tell people where they can find you?
Yeah, you can find me at Daniela Del Carpio. That's DANIELLADELCARPIO. I know it's too long, but it's easy. Just type my first name and last name, and then you can follow me. Follow Richu. Send us any questions, any concerns, any topics that you want us to talk about. We're here to help.
Q&A next week, right? Send those questions in.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, Q&A next week. So please send your questions.
Thank you, and see you next time.